Steve Dotto here. Today I want to talk about Skype. Skype has become a ubiquitous tool that now is sort of the term that we use to refer to almost all audio conferencing technology. Are you going to Skype me? With that, basically, when people say you're going to Skype me, what we mean is we're going to use audio conferencing over the computer. Now there are competitors to Skype. There's a lot of different ways for us to speak back and forth, but Skype was really the first successful true audio conferencing tool. Now, here's how it works basically. When you start with Skype, you can talk using the internet for your communication, voice to voice, with somebody on another computer. And basically, there a little application installs in your computer that uses your internet connection to create a voice call. It's really not all that much rocket science by today's standards. When we first used Skype, though, it was pretty cool technology. So we have this ability to audio conference back and forth. But because we're connected over the internet, we can do other things. We can also text back and forth at the same time. We can share pictures. We can share files. We could even share desktop, although that slows down a bit, but we can actually show people what's happening on our computer, allowing us to do additional kind of layering on that communication metaphor. And if we choose, we could also have video attached. So we can have a video chat happening back and forth. The world of Skype has grown a lot in the last few years, though, to expand beyond just using our computer and allowing Skype clients, that's the software as a client, allowing Skype clients to be used on mobility devices like our iPhones and iPads and Android devices. So now we can talk Skype to computers, Skype to Skype computers, or we can talk Skype to other computer-like devices, smartphones and tablets. And if you're willing to pay a little bit, I think it's $5 a month, you can talk Skype from your computer to people's regular phones, to their cell phones or to their landline phones. So really, the whole world is your oyster when you're using Skype. But that's a lot to take on right at the beginning, isn't it? Why don't we just talk about basically signing up for Skype and how you should start? So today, it's all about just starting with Skype. And the place to start is by going to the Skype homepage. If you haven't visited it, just skype.com will get you there. You should know that for most of what you're going to use Skype for, it's completely free. You can pay for additional services, which we'll talk about in subsequent videos. But for now, it's free, everything that we're going to be showing you right now. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to join Skype. See right here, there's a button that says Join Skype. You're going to click on that button, and that's going to allow you to sign in for an account. And you use your email account as a reference. You have to come up with a name. Now, one thing you have to think long and hard about is, what is your Skype ID? What's your Skype name? It's one of the frustrating parts of using all of these different social media, because coming up with usernames is increasingly difficult as now millions of people are online. So you're probably not going to get your first choice. But the important thing is to pick a name that will identify with you. Because when people are searching for you, when your friends are looking for you, they can find you through your email address quite easily. But if somebody's just kind of prospecting, they say, "I know Steve, I can't remember his email address, but I want to Skype to him," it makes it a lot easier for them to search for me if they can find you based on a logical name. So I actually got the name Dotto Tech, which is pretty logical for Skype for me. Sign up with your name. You'll have to reply to an email, click on a link to verify your account, and once you've done that, you'll open up the Skype software for the first time. Let me show you what the Skype software looks like running here on my Mac. Now, when you first install it, you won't have quite as populated fields as I have right now. You'll just basically have the Skype test call and you, and they'll be inviting you to add contacts right away. So they'll be saying, do you want to use your Facebook or your Google account in order to add contacts? You can do that if you want right away, and that will quickly populate all of your different contacts, or you can manually add people that you want, which is a process that we'll be talking a little bit about a little bit later. But before we talk about this whole process of adding people, let's talk about making sure that our Skype connection works. Because for a lot of people, that hurdle of actually using their computer speaker and camera as a way of communicating might seem a little bit daunting, and I want to show you how easy it is. So here in my Skype client on the Mac, we go under Preferences. If you're on a Windows machine, the Preferences menu will be in a different place, but it will do the exact same thing as what I'm showing you right here. So we've got our general preferences, privacy, all those sorts of preferences going along. But the important one is setting up your audio and video preferences. Now we've got two different things that we have to control. We have to control our audio out so that people can hear us. We have to control our audio in so that we can hear them. And if we want, we also have to control our camera so that we can see people as we talk. So I've chosen my microphone, which is my H4 here. That just designates because I have a studio mic set up. But for the most part, when I'm doing Skype, I usually use or would use my Logitech headset. Most notebooks now have built-in microphones and built-in speaker systems, and a lot of desktop computers like my iMac do as well. Typically speaking, the cameras are fine to use on these, but I don't like using the microphones on them for doing this sort of communication because, frankly, the mic quality is a little bit tinny, and while it won't bother you, it's the person at the other end of the line that you're really concerned about. So I bought one of these, which is just a cheapo Logitech, about $50 Logitech USB headset. A lot of manufacturers make them. Logitech certainly isn't the only one. They range anywhere from about $20 to, I guess, $70 or $80. Computer gamers use them a lot. It's just a USB cable that plugs into your computer, and as soon as you plug it in, it will appear as a source. It's nice to use the headset for doing your conferencing for a couple of reasons. First of all, the quality of audio to the person at the other side vastly improved. It's going to be a nice, clean quality, like they're on it's usually better than a regular phone call would be. The second thing is with a headset, you get a little bit of privacy on your phone call. So everybody's not hearing you chatting. If somebody's walking by, they're not hearing your conversation going on. So we have to choose the microphone we want to use. I'm going to stay on the 4H microphone here because that's what I like to use. This is where it rings through. And then we also have to choose what speakers we're going to hear it on. Now I choose my headset. As I say, if I wanted it to be coming out of my computer speakers, I would choose the built-in or the headphone jack. But I like to leave it right there. Now one thing you notice right away is, do you see this little bar here with the audio levels bouncing? That's telling me that my microphone's working. So that's a pretty good sign right away that everything's working the way it should. And you should probably see something like that as well. Additionally, we have the camera. Now my camera is being usurped by the software that's recording the screen right now, so you can't see it. But typically speaking, in this window here, you would actually see your video running, which would tell you that your camera was working well as well. Once you've done all this, you want to test your setup. So when you go back into your main Skype window, you can go here and there will be an area that says test call or something like that. It says, what is it called? Skype test call right there. So what you do is you actually make a call. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go back into my Skype preferences. I'm going to change it so it's all public so you can hear it. I'm going to change here so you can hear at the same time as me. And now I'm going to make that call. So what happens here is you make a phone call and you can hear it dialing through and you'll hear it ringing. And this is a test call. Hello, Skype test service. I hope my system is working fine. Hello, Skype test service. I hope my system is working fine. So that tells me, see, everything has just happened in that one little bit. I'm going to hang up here. So that's told me that my system's working fine because I could hear the person on the other side talking and I could talk back. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to work fine. So if I go now and I look up a friend's name, or I have somebody that I'm planning to call on Skype, and I go to call them, I know that my system is going to be working fine. So I'm not going to be embarrassed and have that, can you hear me? I can't hear you. That sort of a conversation going on. As you start to add people, it's permission-based. What'll happen is you'll invite people to connect with you, and they'll say you'll receive invitations from people as well. So and so wants to connect with you. Down below here, I'll probably have some invitations. I don't at this moment. I guess I'm not too popular, but typically speaking, I usually have one or two people that are asking me if they'll connect by Skype. But as we look down my list here, you see some of the people have a little green check mark. That tells me that they're online, probably available. Other people have just a hollow area. That means that they're not available. They're not online. They're not ready to talk. And other ones have the kind of orangish. That's a do not disturb. Don't bug them. They're basically there online, but they don't really want to be bothered at this time, because if we leave our computer on but we don't want to be called, it's kind of a do not disturb sign. So you've got some different graphics that indicate to you whether or not you should be connecting with people and talking with people. I think that's probably enough for us to cover right at this particular moment. I think you should take a little bit of time, install Skype, make sure that it's all properly configured, and then maybe watch one of our few other videos that'll talk about making your calls, doing video calling, dealing with it with different mobility devices. We'll be talking about Skype a fair bit in these Dotto demo series. If you've enjoyed this demo, if it's been useful to you, come to our website at dottotech.com. We've got lots more demos there to help you through technology. I'm Steve Dotto, and thanks for spending a few moments with us today.